Michel Chapoutier has been called a perennially superb producer, and his wines are a pure expression of his art. A self-described wine lover and wine grower, Michel utilizes biodynamic techniques in combination with some of the finest land the world has to offer. Because of this, Maison M. Chapoutier gives consumers a true expression of the land, being careful not to correct what nature has intended. Using low yields and paying close attention to the unique combination of grape variety and land characteristics, Maison M. Chapoutier has been able to elevate a series of unique wines of place, or Selection Parcellaires, within specific areas of the Rhône Valley. The result of this single vineyard approach has been rare wines that have become the highest expression of their appellations.
For a lot of winemakers and wineries, when they want to make a different or a very high quality wine, they play on the blending. The winemaker will propose to the consumer what he judges as the best wine for him. He will sometimes blend, and some vintage will say it's not enough good, some vintage will say that's outstanding. But the approach is extremely subjective through the winemaker. The originality of the single vineyards is that the philosophy is completely different. We don't try to make the best wine as possible. We just try to make the best pictures of the terroir. What is the terroir? Terroir is the combination of soils, hydrologic and geological, climate, which is the climate of the place, but the vintage, human, the tradition, and the talent of the people. That is the three things which are doing the terroir. So our originality was to say we will be here to take the best pictures as possible of the terroir. That's mean. The climate is a part of the terroir, the vintage is a part of the terroir. We will not correct it. We are not here to judge if the vintage is good or not. We are just here to transform, in any condition, the grape in wine. And because we don't want, in this philosophy, to correct the vintage, we will never use acidification, chaptalization, and no other things. That's mean, for our single vineyards, the grapes and the winemaking process is never modified for the vintage. The help of the biodynamic culture will permit us by a live soil to have a soil playing like a sponge against the excess of the climate, against the excess of rain, like against the excess of drought. If there is rain, the sponge is taking the water down. If there is a drought, the sponge is giving back the water. But if it's warmer, like in O3, the level of acidity will be very low. If it's cooler like O2, the level of acidity will be higher.
Historically, Hermitage was a single winemaking region, and Michel had the vision to create single vineyard parcels to create new innovative wines that expressed the flavor of the different areas of the Hermitage AOC. At the time, traditionalists in the region thought Michel was crazy.
When I started this philosophy, I was the only one in the world wine industry to do that. And now young winemakers slowly and slowly are arriving and start to follow this philosophy, which is we are not here to correct the vintage. That means we make single vineyards every vintage. If a vintage is weaker, what will we do? We will do it and we will propose to the consumer, maybe with a lower price. Maybe we will give him, but we will always make a single vineyard, because our objective philosophy is to not judge what the vintage could be. And just an illustration, a bad vintage in the Rhône Valley was considered like the 54. And a very good friend of me, with my butcher, is born in 54. And I remember in '94 he came to see me and said, Michel, I'm 40 years old, I would like to have a 54. So I went in the cellar, I took the cellar book, and I saw that there were 600 bottles of Châteauneuf-du-Pape, 54. The last time it was tasted by my grandfather, it was in '64, and it was written, not good. So I said, I don't care, I was not the winemaker. So we will open the bottle, but I tell you it's not very good. And we opened this bottle, and the bottle was amazing, amazing. And finally, who are we to judge wines when they are 3 years or 4 years old? And for this reason, we should learn to take distance and to be less sure of ourselves to judge a vintage. I will not correct the vintage. I will just let the vintage speak, as some sad or quiet or shy vintage sometime will wake up when they will be teenager. Dun, 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 boom, boom.